All right, this whole awakening thing. It's a lot easier to talk about the things that get easier, but I don't know. Let's try talking about something that gets harder with awakening. And that's lying. So let's get into lying. Well, let's take a look at lying in the first place. To lie, you kind of have to be in your head. You're kind of out of your senses and like you're back up here in your head. So lying is like avoiding your body and be honest, lying when you're not in your head hurts. Like you have an actual physical reaction, like you kind of clench up. It's not very comfortable. And with this whole awakening thing and being less in your head and you're more connected with your body, it just hurts to lie. So if you want this whole awakening thing, be prepared to have lying be incredibly difficult. And I don't mean just lying to other people, like telling someone a lie to make things easier. It also goes for you. It makes lying to yourself a lot harder because when you resist, your body kind of just clenches up. And when you repress something or lie to yourself, you're literally clenching up and making it harder for yourself to move naturally. Like, I asked you to stretch, like, in a way that's comfortable, you probably just know what to do. But if you have, like, an idea of how you should be stretching in a way that doesn't feel natural, it kind of hurts. So in a way, this whole being more conscious stuff just gets you in tune what just feels more natural instead of what you think should be the way. Because in a way, lying is almost trying to make some sort of mental interpretation real. I mean, it's obviously not real. It's just a thought. It's just an interpretation. But you lie because you don't want to feel what you're feeling. You're lying because you're trying to get away from your senses. And what awakening does is makes it harder for you to avoid your senses. So if you're not ready to give up lying, it can be kind of hard to see past the mind because you wanting to lie is like a great excuse to stay in your head all the time. Not just to other people, but to yourself too. It takes a lot of effort and energy to lie to yourself. It takes energy to resist. Resistance takes energy. And when there's less resistance, you're not really lying because you don't gotta put up that effort to lie because thinking kind of takes effort. You ever do like a difficult problem at school or or a difficult anything where you have to think a lot? You get tired, right? Well, resistance is mostly just you being in your head and resisting your body. You're thinking a lot. And all that thinking and resistance takes energy, so you get tired. Lying is tiring. It's not just lying to other people, but lying to yourself. Having to repress and resist takes up so much energy. When you stop, things just get easier. You can move your body in a more natural, intuitive way. Your words are more natural and intuitive, which is why in my descriptions I always put, I have no idea what I'm talking about because none of this is planned out. I'm just winging it. I still have no idea what I'm talking about. This is all from intuition. I didn't sit down and study this. It's like kind of obvious. It's like sitting down to breathe. I don't need to read a book about it. It's just kind of, I mean, I'm sitting down and breathing. It's the most natural and obvious thing ever. It's nothing you really have to try to understand. It's something you just know already. And the more resistance there is, the more in some way you're in your head trying to, in a way, lie about reality. You're not really lying, but, well, any thought is just a thought. And when you lie, you're trying to make a thought real. You're trying to convince someone that this thought is real, whether it be another person. or yourself. Just, we're always told to change something, especially about a certain habit or a certain way you behave or whatever. And not that that's a bad thing, but it can create resistance if it's believed like this is a truth. Like if you told someone, well, it's easier to talk for me to talk about me, like growing up, kind of being told, hey, kind of don't want to have pink stuff, or people will assume certain things. And if you kind of have to mentally constantly remind yourself about that, it's exhausting, it's tiring. It makes you put up a facade, which is also exhausting. So you kind of have to give up all those mental constructions, be able to move more naturally. Really just pointing you back to just being honest and authentic. In a way, you can say you're waking up from all the lies you've believed. And it has to get to the point where you have to see all beliefs are just thoughts, and all thoughts are just ethereal. They don't really exist or have any actual leverage. They just come and pass by. Like, there doesn't have to be any resistance to thoughts. And you can just see the thoughts that you have that are habits and just see them pass by as just a thought and take no meaning or give them no priority. And then they just pass on by, which is why lying is hard, because lying is just another thought that comes and it passes by. And when you don't attach to the lie, you don't really lie. You can have thoughts of lying, but you don't have to follow through with it. Thoughts are just thoughts. They're impersonal. You don't get to choose your thoughts, really. I mean, if I told you about, I don't know, a flying monkey, maybe for a moment you had a thought of a flying monkey, but you didn't really choose to have that thought. It just kind of came on its own. In a weird way, your thoughts aren't even your thoughts. And when you really believe a thought as your own, it creates all this suffering because you think those are my thoughts and those thoughts are bad. So my thoughts are bad. And instead of just seeing a thought as just a thought, it comes from nowhere and it returns to nowhere. Anyways, like I always really say, is I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I don't know why people listen to me, but I'm told it helps. So yeah, I hope this helps. And if it doesn't, well, I hope you enjoyed your time listening.